So it's another cold winter day. It got down to 19 degrees last night, and the heat ran all night. So today we're going to do a few things. One of the cats, I think it was Puma, got sick on the comforter this morning after we got up. So I'm going to take some distilled vinegar and go down there and wash the clothes. And then we've got to go and take the trash to the trash compactor. But before I do all that, I want to take a minute and thank everybody for all your comments and emails and everything about Cindy. The swelling in her face has gone down. She's feeling much better. She's about all mended up. We've got to figure out if we're going to put a partial in, what are the teeth when they embed it on a stud into your gum line. We got to figure out exactly what we're going to do. Luckily the tooth is back here. It's about 2 from the back, so we've got time to figure that out. Today I do want to do a little DoorDashing. I'm going to try to ride the lunch from 11 to 2:30, maybe 3 o'clock. Last week was a disaster between having to do a lot of stuff at the campground we manage, getting uniforms ordered, confirming personnel's coming and all that kind of stuff. Only made $277 last week. It still puts me for the first 3 weeks of the challenge, so $1,125, so say another $300, $1,400. So this is the last week of the challenge. I don't know if we're going to make the $2,000. Things have been, last week was very slow with tips. I guess we've passed Christmas and New Year's and people just don't have the money. So I'm going to take you all along for a couple hours worth of door dashing. Had a lot of people that were disappointed that I quit doing those videos and let the trolls win. So we're going to go do it today and take the trolls on. Let me get the trash. All right, let's go start our chores. I don't know if I have any car people in this group, but when I crank the Jeep in the morning on these cold mornings, it is currently 30 degrees out. It's 9:50 in the morning. The power steering is very stiff until the Jeep warms up, and then the power steering gets better. I don't remember it doing that in Minnesota, so if y'all happen to know what's going on with that, what I need to look at, let me know. The only thing I don't like is there's no parking. You see there's 2 parking spaces here, but it says no parking between 8 and 5 because that's what the grounds crew uses. All right, let's get to washing. I hate that with pets, you know, they act up, or in this case, it doesn't take much with Puma to upset her stomach. Some of it is with what's going on in the camper as far as the kittens being too aggressive, or maybe she overate. We have to really regulate her food, and she's on prescription cat food, very expensive. And it doesn't take just eating too much or any kind of nervousness that she has that makes her sick. And she got sick on the comforter. I don't know how many people use distilled vinegar when they are washing their clothes, but for stuff like this, I go just straight distilled vinegar. And it does a great job of cleaning the clothes. Now the laundry here is $3.25 to wash. and $3 to dry. Everybody loves doing the trash. I think I take a bag a day down here to the trash compactor. So we're going to go back and check on Cindy. When I left, she was trying to set up payroll on the computer for all our new employees at the park in New Jersey that we manage. And I'm not sure if she's going to go door dashing with me today or not. So I'm going to go check on her. Yeah, you hear that buzzer. I didn't put my seatbelt on. There's Franklin up in the window waiting for me to come home. Don't know if you can see him. So we'll go inside and check on Cindy. So it's time for us to go door dashing, but I need to hook up the water. Oh, it's got frozen in it. But it's time to hook up the water. So we have 60 gallons of water on board, and we use that for showers, flushing the toilet, washing dishes, that sort of thing. But Cindy wants to fill up our water jugs that we have in the refrigerator and on the counter. There, it's moving. And so I hook up the water. It's 39 degrees outside. The sun is shining right in this area, so it should keep everything froze. We'll do everything we need to do with fresh water. And then when we get back, before it gets down below freezing again, I'll disconnect all this. But this is my setup. I have, and I'll put one of this is, I just replaced my Y because the other one started leaking. It just had the little tiny knobs. I'll put this one, I just got this one. This is very heavy duty, and it has big ball valves in it, and they're not real cheap. This one was $20-something, but it makes it easier to connect everything to. So I use one of these little spring hoses here, so they have some flex for my water pressure regulator, and then I hook a good quality drinking water safe hose to it. But anyway, that's the setup we use. Temperature today is supposed to get up to 45, so I don't have a sweatshirt or a jacket or anything. I just got a long sleeve t-shirt on. Most of the time I'll be in the car. So it looks like things are slow on DoorDash today. We are going to work, it is, you can see right here, it's 11:26. So we're going to work from 11:30 to 3 for 3.5 hours. I hope to make $60+ today. We have some stuff we have to do with our campground job. So this is what the dashboard looks like when you pull up the app and then you hit dash. We're platinum dashers, so we have the ability to dash when we want. So I'm gonna put down we're gonna dash until 3 o'clock. And then it pulls up and says top priority for high pay, maintain your platinum status, keep getting perks the dashers love most. So supposedly we get higher paying jobs. Let's head into town and see what kind of dashes we get. So according to the activity map, Chick-fil-A is in the middle of what they call the hot zone. So you got Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, and McDonald's are the 3 current hot zones. We've been out for 10 minutes, still waiting on an offer. We're parked here at Chick-fil-A. Hopefully we'll get something soon. So we got our first order, $5 for 4.9 miles. I'm gonna go ahead and take it, but it's only $1 a mile. So I've got to drive the 4.9 miles back. We'll hit accept. We're already at Chick-fil-A.
Drive northwest.
So we'll exit out of that, hit arrived at the store. All right, let's go see what Megan got for lunch. So here's the pickup area. You go inside, It says DoorDash right there. There's nothing there, so we're waiting on the order. All right, so they just delivered Megan's order out to the pickup area. So we'll go online, continue. We got to take a picture of the receipt. Done. Confirm the pickup. And now we will go deliver. Put the drink in the rear cup holder. Got the food in the insulated bag. We will zip it up and head to deliver. So DoorDash does have a pretty good mapping software. I do use my GPS if it gets lost. Pretty heavy traffic here for a Monday. Let's get this thing delivered. All right, this is a leave it at the door. So we'll take it up here. The previous picture shows leaving it on the metal table, which I see on the front porch because this door swings out. So we will leave it here. Take the photo. And head off to the next one. So the screen gives you helpful information. It says total time on 31 minutes. $5 this order, this offer. $2 base pay, $3 tip from the customer. We'll continue dashing. Things have been slow. And I'm not sure why. Over Christmas and New Year's, orders were $8, $9, $10, $12 a piece, and now it's barely covering the mileage. So it makes me wonder if, you know, it's just because it's after Christmas and nobody has any money. But if you don't have money, why are you not going to get your own food or cooking it at home? So now the app says that McDonald's, which is right there, is the hot spot. And then I'm also conveniently parked. I don't know if you can see the Burger King sign right there, but we're also behind Burger King. So I couldn't get the camera to turn on, but if we go to we just got a new dash. It says this dash is $12. We go back to Chick-fil-A and pick it up, and we take it 5.9 miles. All right, so they've got quite the conundrum here. Pulling up at Chick-fil-A, they've got 3 assigned spots for DoorDash and Uber Eats. However, there's a work crew using one of them. There is nobody that really cares about right and wrong. It looks like anymore that, you know, these are so we can make our deliveries and get picked up quick, and just people just park in them willy-nilly. We picked up our order, but I'm telling you, I had to sit in my car for a few minutes. Chick-fil-A is crazy. I normally park in the gravel lot next door, but I came in from the wrong direction. And so now we're headed out to go drop this good order off. They were 5 minutes late on making the meal, so I had to send DoorDash a text message telling them that the store was busy and that it was running late, not because of me, but because of the store. All right, so that dash was a success. So far, $17. We haven't been quite on for an hour, and that one was $2 base pay and a $10 tip. Let's continue dashing. So we just got another order, $6 for 11.6 miles. Going, doing shopping, picking up one item. I'm sorry, that order is upside down. We'll hit decline. Brings me down to 75%. All right, we got another bad offer. 4.7 miles, $5. We're across the street from McDonald's. It's slow. We're just going to go ahead and take it. We drop it off at the customer's house. So this is a leave it at the door. I will leave it at the door and take a picture. This door also swings out, so I'll set it off to the side. So now we've made $22 in an hour and 31 minutes. That offer was $5. $3 base pay, $2 base pay, $3 tip. We'll continue dashing. So here's something I don't understand. So that was a $3 tip. I drove 5 miles. I see all these YouTube videos about servers feel like they need to get 20 or 30% tip and all this kind of stuff. And yes, they wait on them personally and have more customer interaction, but they're basically just walking with food across the restaurant, where we're driving our cars, using our gas, and people think a $1, $2, $3 tip is acceptable, which I guess it is, because the customer is subsidizing the DoorDash's pay for us drivers instead of DoorDash paying us, I guess, a fair wage. So I just say that not because I'm mad or anything. I mean, I've chose to do this, but I watched several of those tipping videos this morning when I got up and was drinking my coffee, and I think it's just a little hypocritical. But anyway, I digress. All right, so we got a high-paying offer, $9.25 for 4.1. It even tells me it's a high-paying offer. Tampico time. Let's go pick up some Japanese food.
Drive southeast.
All right, I just picked up that order with Yum Yum sauce, and I'm headed to drop it off at Dollar General. All right, I'm pulling up to Dollar General.
Then turn right.
This is a go in and get a PIN number. So I'll go in and I will deliver the food and get a PIN number, and then I'll be back. All right, so far we've made $31.25. We've been dashing for an hour and 56 minutes. We've taken 4 out of 5. That was $7.25 tip and $2 base pay. Let's continue dashing. So as you can see, it is 2 o'clock here. It's been almost an hour since I got a dash. You see, I'm still at $31.25. So I'm going to move to another hot spot. There's McDonald's. We'll run over to McDonald's and see if just moving wakes the algorithm up. If not, this is going to be a disastrous DoorDash day. As you can see, I'm parked here at McDonald's. I've been here for 15 minutes. I went inside and talked to the girl I normally pick up from, and she said they've only had 5 DoorDash orders all day. I finally got another order, $8.82 for 6.3 miles. Got to get 4 things from Walgreens. I went ahead and automatically declined that. By the time you shop it and everything, that order is going to take me a half hour to get all the way back around. I wish I would have had time to show you that order on the screen. The reason it timed out, because I knew I wasn't going to take it after I opened it up. All the orders were different types of beer and wine, and it was all alcohol, which a lot of the Walgreens I find are alcohol orders. But you get an added liability. You've got to make sure the person is of age. You have to get their driver's license. You have to scan their driver's license. You have to check off that you confirm that the person on the driver's license is of age and that they're the person you're giving it to. To me, the alcohol orders are a lot of liability. And if they don't pay really well, I don't normally take them because of the extra liability, and then the shopping time on top of that. Because if they didn't have one of the items, I'd have to contact the customer, have them input an alternative, wait for that to hit. It just is a mess. So For me to do a shopping, especially an alcohol order, it has to be a really good order. That was not. That was borderline. All right, I finally got an order. $5.75 from McDonald's for 1.4 miles. I'll accept that. Finally. Let's go.
Then turn right.
So I'm going to click arrived at store. And it says I got to get a drink. She's getting 7 items. So we're going to tell her that we're here waiting on her order. And then do I want to add to my dash? It's 2:41. It's been a dismal day. I talked to Cindy on the phone and she said to go ahead and put down to stay out till 6 to get some of the dinner rush. So I'm adjusting my time. Kay just sent a message saying thank you. Right there, thank you. So we're going to extend the dash to 6. If it doesn't pick up, I can always end it. But anyway, that's what we're going to try. So this is a good sign. This order is headed to the hospital, which means maybe the nurses and doctors have been busy. Normally during lunch, I drop off 3 or 4 orders to the hospital. So maybe they've just had some extraordinary stuff going on. So we'll go drop this off. I'll take you inside. The hospital's kind of a unique drop off. I will say that I did extend the DoorDash to 6 o'clock because things have been so slow. If 5:15 it has not picked up, I will go ahead and end it because it is cold outside. It's like 34 degrees. And I don't have a jacket, but that's my own fault.
30 feet, Union General Hospital.
So here we are at Union General Hospital. Now I will say that their security does let us park. There's Georgia State Trooper. Does allow us to park on the yellow curb out front because all we do is run in and drop off food for the staff.
Blairsville, Georgia 30512.
We'll get the order out of the hot bag. We will enter the hospital.
I'll call you back when they're moving around a little. Yeah.
And we drop it here at this table. And we have to take a picture. Takes us up to 37 even. This offer, $2 base pay, $3.75 for the tip. We will continue dashing. So as you can see right there, it says the closest hot zone is Chick-fil-A, which is a half a mile away. That's where we'll go. Now things are picking up. $7 for 2.7 miles at Wendy's. Another high paying offer. We'll accept that.
Drive northwest.
So we're headed over to Wendy's. You know, sometimes DoorDash is fickle. By adding time and moving, sometimes it'll wake up the algorithm, or maybe other people have gotten frustrated and went home because it was so slow. But hopefully this will continue and we'll start getting more and more high-paying orders. Here we are pulling up at Wendy's.
Turn left, then turn right. Turn right, then 614 Young Harris Highway, Blairsville.
Get their food out of the hot bag. You know, we have been delivering this for a while now, and this is like the 5th time I've delivered here this month. The kids get home from school and they order food, I guess. Put it on top of their Amazon boxes and get the picture. All right, that one's done. So with that order, they added an extra 50 cents, I believe it was. It ended up being a $10 dash. You can see we're at $47 earnings this dash. So they always add. I like that. Thank you. New hotspot is Zaxby's, so I'm pulling up. So here's an order from Zaxby's, $2 for 1.7 miles. That means there's no tip on it. It's a base pay only. I decline all orders without tips. There were two other Dashers parked here at Zaxby's. One of them also got the offer for the $2 order. He turned it down. One of the two decided to go ahead and clock out for the day. They've had such a bad day. The other one just drove off and said he was going to go to a different location. So I know there's a couple other people out here dashing, and I moved around to the front of the building. I'm curious to see who shows up for the $2 order. I wonder what happens if they can't find anybody to pick up the orders. Would be interesting to know. If anybody knows, leave it in the comments if you're dashers. But I think it would be hard to find somebody to pick up a $2 order. So I just took a $7 order for 5 miles at Lucky's. I had the camera turned off to charge, and so I almost ran out of time to accept it. Not the best order, but we've been sitting for a while. It's 3:40. So we've been sitting here for a half an hour. So that's the first time I've had to do that. I got in there, and one of the items they ordered, what they were out of stock, and so I had to figure out how to refund them for one of those orders. It ended up being, I just had to click on the item and put out of stock, and it automatically refunded. There's not a lot of tutorials on how to use the DoorDash app, so you have to kind of click around till you figure it out sometimes. Now we're headed to make this delivery. How are you? All right, this is a leave at the door. Propane truck got here at the same time I did. Back up a little bit so I can get the door and the package in the picture. Almost tripped. So this offer was $7, 4 hours, 28 minutes, 7 out of 10, $5 tip, $2 standard pay. Continue dashing. All right, so we have an order, Chick-fil-A, $3.50 for 1.6 miles. I guess we'll take it.
Drive west on Hunt.
All right, this offer was $1.50 tip, $2 total, 4 hours and 54 minutes for $57.50. So was that $11 or $12 an hour? We will continue dashing. The new hot spot is Arby's. Let's see if we get anything good here. Oh my gosh, this one's almost $2 a mile. $13 for 6.7 miles. Let's go back to the Japanese restaurant. So here is the Japanese restaurant. Some of these mountain roads we go up to deliver DoorDash
Right to stay on Smoke Rise Ridge. Then
are no wider than a driveway.
Blairsville, Georgia 30512. USA will be on the right.
I've delivered here before.
Blairsville, Georgia 30512. US.
All right, that brought me up to $70.50 in 5.5 hours, 9 out of 12. That offer was for $13. It had an $11 tip. Let's get back to dashing. Some of these orders will take you out of your zone, so you won't get an order until you get back. All right, we got another order, $12 for 12.2 miles. 5 of that is making it to the place of pickup. I think I'm gonna go ahead and accept it. All right, here I am showing up at Papa John's Pizza. They have pretty good pizza. So $82.50 so far for roughly 6 hours. Taking 10 out of 13. That one had a $10 tip on it. So $12. Let's continue dashing. We got another half hour to go. All right, here's another wonderful offer. $3 for Chick-fil-A, 1.9 miles. So that means it's got a $1 tip on it. All right, I think this will be the last one of the night. It says drop it door. Take a picture. Got it. It's like $85.50. And they just sent us one for 7.9 miles for $15.25. We'll go ahead and take that.
Drive west on Jones.
All right, so we ended up with $100.75. That offer was a $13.25 tip. And instead of hitting continue dashing, you'll see that it automatically extended my dash because they still need people. And it says end now. There you go. All right, y'all, I made it home. I've had dinner, took care of a little bit of campground work I had to do, and now we're here to discuss how our door dashing actually did. As you could see from the last clip, we did $100.75. Thank goodness for the last 2 or 3 dashes that actually had some decent tips to them, or I would have been really sad. So we dashed for 6 hours and 44 minutes. I went ahead and rounded it up to 6 hours and 45 minutes. So you divide $100 by 6.75. That comes out to $14.93 an hour. I took 12 out of 15 dashes for 97 miles. I was surprised that the mileage came in lower than the dollars. So that came out to $1 a mile. And that's a lot lower than I'd hoped. So when we first started this dashing experience, was during the Christmas season, and I guess people were generous and had more money to spend or were in a joyful mood. But since Christmas is gone and I guess the Visa cards are coming due, the tips have gone way down and so is the pay. I think Monday 2 weeks ago I did like $140 or $150 in the same time period. Well, it was actually from 11 to 6, so it was an extra 15 minutes. But as you can see, I'm not taking any dashes that don't have tips involved. If you remember when I showed you the $2 delivery, well, that it was for like 1.8 miles or something. $2 is the base. It goes from $2 to $2.35 as your base pay from DoorDash. I don't know why it changes from day to day, but it does. So today the base pay was $2. So if I got a $2 offer, I'm not taking it because there's no tip on it. You know, a lot of the waitresses and bartenders, you see them on YouTube all the time, they're complaining about, if I'm not getting 25 or 30% tip, you know, I'm not going to serve them anymore and all this kind of stuff. Some of them want 50% tips. I saw one where a girl wanted 100% tip, which is ludicrous. But I do feel like that we are a little bit different than they are. We're actually using our own vehicle, putting wear and tear on our car, plus our time. And yeah, they're going to have to tip for that, or I'm not delivering it. I've got 2 daughters that are servers, and I think they would support me on that. You know, they're in a controlled environment where it's safe. We're going into unknown locations where people really don't know where we are when we get there. And so DoorDashing is a little more dangerous, and I feel like we should be paid a little more. So I'm not sure how I'm feeling about the whole DoorDash thing. I know when we first started, the money was good, but it's getting harder to have a $100 day. So we'll have to see how the whole month works out. And let me know in the comments what you think about DoorDashing. Until next time, we'll see you, and stay safe out there.